Welcome back as we start up with the final 7 races of day 1 of the penultimate round of the BNL Karting Series for 2023. Up next, it's Heat 3, Senior Road Tax. Groups A versus D, and here is your starting grid. Dion van Verven will be on pole position. Theo Lemoyne will be alongside. Austin on the front row. Austin Lee and Leith Mulmina will be on row 2. Paul Forquemin and Kai Hunter, row 3. Luke Neeson and Kamal Murad and Sean Butcher will round out the top 10. Iva Adagnostiadis will be joined by Khalid Al-Maraji on row 6. René de Bruyker and Lockie Robinson, row 7. Simon Perigny and Matthias Flamand will be on row 8, ahead of Scott Westhovens, Ralph van der Pevert, Faisal Al-Yafel and Bram Ossevarda, completing the 20-strong grid. Once again, as per the previous race, it will be 7 minutes plus an additional lap. We have had 2 different winners from 2 different races so far. Heat 1, Lewis Gilbert. Heat 2, Kai Hunter. Could it be 3 from 3 here today? Well, in a few moments' time, folks, we will find out accordingly as to who will make it to the, well, effectively, who will take the checkered flag first and win the race. So the drivers now slow as they head through into the final corner here at Ostrico. Into the tram lines, revs rise. Are we ready? Are we steady? Lights are out first time. Good start by Dion van Verven, being followed into turn number 1 by the likes of Paul Forquemin and Mitch Hainer. But Austin Lee holds station in second position as they make their way through into turn 3 for the first time. Mitch Hainer going high, wide and handsome around the outside of Paul Forquemin. Did he make the boost stick going through into the next left-hander? He did indeed. That was a great job there from the 3:05 from the Netherlands, and he's in front of one of the most, if not the most experienced senior road tax driver that I know of. So Kamal Murad looks to have gone past Leith Mulmina from Saudi Arabia, as up the inside of Paul Forquemin goes Kai Hunter. That is now 4th for the UK driver, as they head through into the final few technical corners here at Ostricourt, as they sweep through the final right-hander, which has a bit of a deceptive right-hand down camber. Van Verven leads, Lee in second, Hainer, Hunter, Forquemin, Murad, Mulmina, Butcher, Anagnostiadis and Perigny round out the top 10. Theo Lemoyne down all the way into 18th position, but that was very close there. Austin Lee looked for a move on. Dion van Verven loses 2 positions, drops down to 4th behind Mitch Hainer and Kai Hunter. And now the lead changes. Dion van Verven goes a little bit deep, and all of a sudden Mitch Hainer leads a race for the first time this season. Now Kai Hunter up the inside of the 377. Austin Lee also might get through at this point, but he's got to run wheel to wheel onto the grass and kicking up the dust. Van Verven loses major time and also major track positions. Butcher's through, Murad through, amongst others. New race leader on lap number 3. It's Mitch Hainer from the Netherlands. Kai Hunter trying to chase him down. Austin Lee in 3rd, Paul Forquemin in 4th there. We just saw a brief look at the livery on Eva Anagnostiadis' kart, the 396 representing Australia. And at the end of lap 2, she was 8th place. But Austin Lee just ahead of Paul Forquemin. And I think Paul Forquemin is about double the age of Austin Lee. Sean Butcher keeping it pinned round the outside of Kamal Murad. The Aussie in the 3:48, running with GKS Lemons Power. And the two-time BNL Senior Rotax champion, last year's runner-up and last year's European champion. There's a dive bomb from Van Verven, gets him back through on Murad. That's for 6th place. And now the race lead is in the hands of Kai Hunter. Heat 2 winner earlier on. Kamal Murad fires one back up the inside of Dion Van Verven through turn number 1, but the 377 Privateer on the CRG is giving the Aussie something to think about. Simon Perigny now just behind Lockie Robinson in the 326. That's the battle for 8th place. Luke Neeson looks to have gotten past Iva Anagnostiidis. That's for the final position in the top 10. Halfway through the race, halfway to go. Got a long way to go, but a short time to get there. But it is about making decisive overtakes when the opportunity presents itself. If you know that you're going to go for that gap and it's 110% self-confidence and self-belief that you have, then you're going to go for that move. But sometimes there is the also de facto risk versus reward situation. Kai Hunter still leading, and his lead now is nearly half a second over Mitch Haynett. Austin Lee rounds out the top 3 positions. Paul Forquemin has a very fired up Sean Butcher behind him, who's less than half a kart length behind the 313 from France. Butcher will wait until the absolute last moment to send it up the inside. Dion Van Verven and Kamal Murad swapping positions again. The Australian in the 348 now still running in 6th position. So the 377 trying to do his level best. Butcher waiting. There's going to be an opportunity, I think, going into turn number 1 for the UK driver, originally from Australia, now based out of London. And greetings to his Sean's dad, Glenn. I hope you're watching, buddy. I hope you're keeping well. Coming up to the last couple of minutes remaining. Still very close, all up and down the field. And Eva Anagnostiadis, she's got herself back up into 10th position. So a great work rate for her. She celebrated a birthday last week during earlier on this week actually, just before she headed out from the UK over here to France to Ostricourt. There is the likes of Kamal Murad, Dion Van Verven, closing in on Sean Butcher, who's holding on to 5th place at the moment, just behind Paul Forquemin. Going to come down to the wire, I think, in terms of who's going to end up second. Well, Mitch Haynett leads a BNL Karting Series race for, I think, the first time so far this season. It's going to fill him with a little bit of confidence going into his final heat later on today. And there's the move now. It was only a matter of time. Sean Butcher saw the window of opportunity through the right-hand hairpin at turn 3 and got the job done on Paul Forquemin. Kamal Murad now is in the slipstream, has got the opportunity, has the ringside seat. Van Verven could do something. Forquemin up the inside of Butcher. Van Verven up the inside of Murad, and they both make a place up. And Van Verven nearly got on the inside of Sean Butcher to get through on him for 5th place. And now he's trying to go for it into the next right-hand hairpin. Van Verven is through on Butcher. And Lockie Robinson joins the party. So does Perigny. So does Anagnostiidis. 2 laps remaining as Kai Hunter makes his way through the exit of turn 1. Look at that train behind Dion Van Verven, who's just got up his inside. Right behind him, Sean Butcher. Butcher looks to the inside of him, going through into turn 3. Kamal Murad makes the move on Lachlan Robinson, who just got past him through out of the final corner. And that's a change for 5th, and that's a change for 7th. Great dueling, clean racing, and clean racing respect given. Kamal Murad up the inside of Dion van Verven. Will he run wide? And there's a touch! A big touch! Kamal Murad spat off. So was Dion van Verven. I don't know how the hell Lockie Robinson managed to get through all of that. My goodness me. It was going oh so well until that point. And the Nassau panel on Kamal Murad is askew and pointing inside the front fairing to the right-hand side. That is a real shame. There is Faisal Al-Ayafel trying to get through on them. Lockie Robinson drops to 10th place as we go on to the final lap. So that has really put the cat amongst the proverbial pigeons. And never would I think for the fact that, well, Lockie Robinson trying to get through on Scott Westhovens. That's for 9th. Luke Neeson and Simon Perigny just up ahead. Not that long to go until we see the checkered flag here at Austricourt for what has been a mainly very clean race. But the 3:35, there he is. Sunderland's very own Kai Hunter will now make his way through into the final corner here at Austricourt at the Racing Kart JPR circuit. And he's going to pick up his 2nd win in a row. The young man from Sunderland does it again. Great job by Mitch Haynett with his best ever results in a BNL Karting Series race this season. He takes 2nd ahead of Austin Lee from Germany. Rounding out the top 6, it's Paul Volkwemin, Sean Butcher, and well done, Ava Anagnostiidis, rounding out the top 6 places. Luke Neeson, Simon Perigny, Scott Westhovens, and the luckiest out of the 3 that had an incident with a couple of laps to go, Lockie Robinson, round out the top 10. Bruno de Broeke, 11th, Ralph van der Pevert, Matthias Flamand. Then we got Bram Ossevaarde rounding out the top 14. Theo Lemoigne rounding out the top 15. Dion van Verven and Kamal Murad round out 16th and 17th with Faisal Ayafel, Leith Mumina and Khalid Al-Maraji completing all 20 drivers who finished all 9 laps of racing.